that just, let me tell you from my heart, that just makes a child afraid to fail. And it begins to put fear in you, and that you would be afraid that your child would fail. We need to begin to see children for who they are, the greatest gift from God. And that if we aren't more like them, that we aren't going to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Welcome back to Single Scripture Today. This is our first episode in this series, and what we're going to be talking about today is raising children to be kids. A big part of raising children free from fear and being able to walk without being afraid for your children is to be able to understand that kids are kids and kids need to be celebrated for being kids. And so today's scripture for Single Scripture Today is found in Matthew 18, verse 3. The scripture says, "And he said, I tell you the truth, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." I don't typically do this during these messages, but I think that it's important. I brought with me today a book called Improvisation and the Theater. It says, "I felt crippled and unfit for life, so I decided to become a teacher. I wanted more time to sort myself out, and I was convinced that the training college would teach me to speak clearly and to stand naturally and to be confident and how to improve my teaching skills. Common sense assured me of this, but I was quite wrong. It was only by luck that I had a brilliant art teacher called Anthony Sterling, and then all my work stemmed from his example. It wasn't so much what he taught as what he did. For the first time in my life, I was in the hands of a great teacher. I'll describe the first lesson he gave us, which was unforgettable and completely disorienting. He treated us like a class of 8-year-olds, which I did not like, but which I thought I understood. Oh, he's letting us know what it feels like to be on the receiving end, I thought. He made us mix up a thick, jammy black paint and asked us to imagine a clown on a one-wheeled bicycle who pedals through the paint and onto our sheets of paper. Don't paint the clown, he said. Paint the mark he leaves on your paper. I was wanting to demonstrate my skill because I'd always been good at art, and I wanted him to know that I was a worthy student. This exercise annoyed me because how could I demonstrate my skill? I could paint the clown, but who cared about the tire marks? He cycles on and off your paper, said Sterling, and he does all sorts of tricks, so the lines he leaves on your paper are very interesting. Everyone's paper was covered with a mess of black lines, except mine. Since I'd tried to be original by mixing up a blue, Sterling was scathing about my inability to mix up a black, which irritated me. Then he asked us to put colors in all the shapes the clown had made. What kind of colors? Any colors. Yeah, but we don't know what colors to use. Nice colors, nasty colors, whatever you like. We decided to humor him. When my paper was colored, I found that the blue had disappeared, so I repainted the outlines black. Johnstone's found the value of a strong outline, said Sterling, which really annoyed me. I could see that everyone's paper was getting into a soggy mess and that mine was no worse than anybody else's, but no better. Put patterns on all the colors, said Sterling. The man seemed to be an idiot. Was he teasing us? What sort of patterns? Any patterns. We couldn't seem to start. There were about 10 of us, all strangers to each other and in the hands of this madman. We don't know what to do. Surely it's easy to think of patterns. We wanted to get it right. What sort of patterns do you want? It's up to you. He had to explain patiently to us that it really was our choice. I remember him asking us to think of our shapes as fields seen from the air, if that helped, which it didn't. Somehow we finished the exercises and wandered around looking at our daubs rather glumly. But Sterling seemed quite unperturbed. He went to a cupboard and took out armfuls of paintings and spread them out all about the floor. And it was the same exercise done by other students. The colors were so beautiful, and the patterns were so inventive. Clearly, they had been done by some advanced class. What a great idea, I thought, making us screw up in this way and then letting us realize that there was something that we could learn since the advanced students were so much better. Maybe I exaggerate when I remember how beautiful the paintings were, but I was seeing them immediately after my failure. Then I noticed that these little masterpieces were signed in very scrawly writing. Wait a minute, I said. These were done by young children. They were all by 8-year-olds. It was just an exercise to encourage them to use the whole area of the paper, but they'd done it with such love and taste and care and sensitivity. I was speechless. Something happened to me in that moment from which I have never recovered. It was the final confirmation that my education had been a destructive process. Sterling believed that the art was in the child and that it wasn't something to be imposed by an adult. The teacher was not superior to the child and should never demonstrate and should not impose values. This is good or this is bad. But supposing a child wants to learn how to draw a tree, send him out to look at one. Let him climb one. Let him touch it. But if he can't still draw one, let him mold it in clay. The implication of Sterling's attitude was that the student should never experience failure. The teacher's skill lay in presenting experiences in such a way that the student was bound to succeed. That's what Jesus is talking about when he says, "Come to me as little children." He knows that within you, you are bound to succeed. You are made for great success. Today, as we think about these things, as we think about our own children, as we begin to inspire ourselves and inspire them, I would hope that you would be able to put aside any conditions, any things that you think that, well, if they do it this way, they're good, or if they do it that way, they're bad, or if something comes up, that just, let me tell you from my heart, that just makes a child afraid to fail. And it begins to put fear in you, and that you would be afraid that your child would fail. We need to begin to see children for who they are, the greatest gift from God. And that if we aren't more like them, that we aren't going to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for reading with me this book, Impro. I certainly hope that it blessed you. And I certainly hope that if you go on Amazon, I don't get paid for the referral, that you order up yourself this book, because it really is a revolutionary book. That was just like page 3. So thank you so much for watching today. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow in the continuation of this fantastic series, Raising Children Free from Fear. Bye-bye, guys. Love you so much, and thank you for watching.